Howdy, and welcome back to another Workshop Wednesday. Today we're going to talk about how to answer, where are my users coming from? Of course, if this is your first Workshop Wednesday, welcome. My name is Chris Mercer. I do go by Mercer, and I'm the co-founder here at measurementmarketing.io. And maybe you found us through our featured courses and products over at Digital Marketer, maybe through CXL Institute. Some of you may have come through Social Media Examiner and the courses that you'll find over there that we've done. And of course, our own courses at measurementmarketing.io. However you have found us, welcome to Workshop Wednesday. Our job here is to help people just like you figure out how to use all of these fun tools like analytics and tag manager. Analytics, of course, is what we're going to be talking about today. And we do that using the measurement marketing framework. Now, we're going to quickly cover this because it'll help put today's training in context. So first, you've got planning, which is figuring out what questions are important to answer, what information you need to get those answers, and then what actions you can take based on those answers. Now, in this case, we are actually going to use Google Analytics, and the planning stage of this is going to come into play because, as you will soon see, when you're trying to measure for traffic, you need to do a little bit of planning first. Then we're going to talk about building, where you actually used Google Analytics to build stuff. And in this case, it's actually pretty simple how you're going to do that. Then there's the reports. Now, actually, we're going to start there because I'm going to show you where the report is that we're going to find all this fun information. And once you have all those done, you can actually start to forecast what your results are going to be. Basically, once you understand how your Facebook traffic works or how your email traffic works, you can start to forecast that for the near future. And then you measure against your forecasts, and that brings in your optimization. That's how you figure out what's working and what's not. All right. Now, with all of these trainings, one new idea is all we are looking for. So especially with new stuff like this, if this is really new to you, if you're just starting out, don't worry about it. It's where everybody does. We did the same way. But just practice one new thing that is new to you, a new idea, a new way of thinking about things. Then you come back, rewatch this, practice something else. That is how you build a skill set. All right. Let's go ahead and get officially underway. Getting started, how to answer, where are my users coming from? Now, of course, we're just going to jump right into Google Analytics. So I'm going to start with a tale of two Google Analytics. First is the Google Merchandise Store. It's a demo account available in Google for anybody. Just kind of Google it and you can find how to access it. And then we're going to show you ours. So I can kind of show you a little bit of a before and after. Now, the report that I want you to focus on when you're trying to answer the question, where are my users coming from? It's going to be in this acquisition section, because acquisition, every report that is in here in some way, shape, or form is trying to help you answer that question of where users are coming from. Now, in my opinion, the very best report that you should use in order to find this is the source medium report. So we're going to go to all traffic and then source medium. So we go into acquisition, then all traffic, and then source medium. That is what we're going to look for. Now, as we come down, you will see pretty much what you think it's going to be. Source medium, so is here. Now, what this is really telling you is the traffic source, the brand of the traffic, and the type of traffic. So that's how you think about source medium. I know they're kind of words that you might not naturally put together as far as what you would call things, but source is really just the main brand of the actual brand name of the traffic, and then medium is the type of traffic. So in this case, the brand name is Google. The type of traffic coming from Google is organic. So this is search traffic. They've got analytics.google.com. Now, in this case, the brand name, the source, is another part of Google's site. It's a subdomain called analytics.google.com. They've got Creator Academy from YouTube that is coming through. We've got partners that are sending them traffic. We've got Baidu, which is another search engine, sending them traffic. And then if you go down through the medium, you see the types of traffic. There's organic, which of course is search engines, which we just mentioned. You've got none. Whenever you see direct none, all it means is it's Google Analytics telling you, I have no idea. I have no idea where they came from. They just showed up. Now, sometimes it's because people directly type your website in, but unless you brand yourself as your website name, you shouldn't have a ton of direct none. You will have some for sure, because you'll have returning users and people bookmarking you and things like that. But you shouldn't have a ton unless your business name is the same as your website name. Maybe then you would. But direct none, again, it's just a lot of times it could be email traffic that you're sending, or if an affiliate is mailing for you on your behalf and you're not doing special things to tag your traffic coming in, it's going to show up as direct none. Google's not going to know. So that's where this comes from. Then you've got referral. So the big three are organic, search engine, direct none, or the none, which is, I don't know, they just showed up. And then referral, which is, okay, they came from over there. That's what this is. It's some other site, some other known site referred the traffic to you, right? So that's what referral traffic means. And then you can see that besides the big three, you have this little one down here called affiliate, right? So we see affiliate, we see things like CPM, those are customized. And you can, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment here. But this is kind of I wanted to show it like a before and after. This is the standard sort of the demo store and how things are coming through in the demo store. And you can see a little bit of the big three where it's organic and referral traffic coming through. And it is somewhat useful, but I wanted to show it to you in ours. This is actually our production site. We're going to do the same thing. We go to acquisition, we go to all traffic, and we go to source medium. Now in here, again, exact same report, you're going to see a slightly different format of some things. Now in our case, our company name is quite literally measurementmarketing.io. So whenever I'm out there, you heard it onto the workshop today. It's, whenever I talk on the workshops, it's, hey, it's Merce over at measurementmarketing.io. So our brand name is our website name. We do, and we will always have a lot of direct non-traffic. So we sort of expect this because that just happens to be our company name is our website name. So I'm not too concerned about this. If it wasn't that, if our website was, measurement marketing training or something like that, then maybe I would be a little bit more concerned if we saw a lot of direct none. So that doesn't concern me there. But the Infusionsoft partner traffic, see, this is very different. You don't see that at all. And you kind of saw it a little bit with Partners Affiliate here. So the reason that we do Infusionsoft partner, and we've customized our setup to do this, is because we use Infusionsoft to track our affiliate program. So we know that it's coming from Infusionsoft. That is the brand name, the source, the brand name of the traffic is Infusionsoft. And then partner is the type of traffic coming through that platform. So in this case, our affiliate partners who are helping us to spread the word about measurementmarketing.io. Underneath here, you see Facebook, the brand name, the source, the brand name is Facebook. In this case, type of traffic, CPC. What does that tell you? That is cost per click. It's basically what we call paid traffic. So we tag that in as CPC. Again, we've customized this. So number 2 and number 3 here have been customized to say Infusionsoft partner and then Facebook CPC. Now, then we have Google Organic. Now, this is something Google Analytics will do on its own, this Google Organic stuff, so it figures out search engine stuff. But this stuff over here, this Facebook CPC and the partner traffic, well, that partner traffic would have shown up as direct none if we didn't set this up. Facebook CPC would have shown as Facebook referral, which is down here, if we didn't set that up. And so when you set up specific tagging, and again, I'll show you how to do that in just a minute or so here, you can actually tell a better story, right? You've got more information of what's going on, so you really can help yourself answer which traffic sources are actually working. Like, how are users finding me? How are people coming to my site? Where are they coming from? You can actually see that. Now, underneath here, number 5, Infusionsoft email. Pretty similar to number 2, where it's Infusionsoft partner. Why is it different? Well, technically, we use Infusionsoft for our CRM. It's for our autoresponder. It's where we do all of our emails. So we've got Infusionsoft that we use for our affiliate program and Infusionsoft that we use for all of our autoresponders and emails that come through. So we've got 2 different types of traffic. Partner traffic from our affiliates that are helping us to spread the word, and then the email traffic that is there where either we're doing marketing to our own list or maybe it's member logins or things like that for our members. Different updates that we send out for them on different content that we're producing, that all comes through email traffic. But because we are tagging it in this way, which I'm about to show you here, you can see Infusionsoft partner, very different from Infusionsoft email. And what's really nice about this is I can tie this to results. Now, obviously, we've got e-commerce results coming through, but I also can tie it into other things that I set out in terms of goals. So maybe I've created a goal for what traffic source is good at creating leads. Well, I can see our Infusionsoft partner traffic is doing really well at creating new leads for us. We have some people find us directly from things that we do. Some people find us from Google Organic. Some might be coming in from other sources through an email or through other sites that are sending us traffic. From this referral site, it's one of our sister sites called Seriously Simple Marketing that is sending us traffic. We also see that we're getting leads from YouTube shares, right? So if we share a video on YouTube and somebody comes from there and becomes a member or creates a free Toolbox membership, we see that come through here. And then there's Facebook referral. Now, what's the difference between Facebook referral and Facebook CPC? Well, the Facebook CPC is stuff that we're doing. We are paying for that traffic. We are tagging that traffic in the way so that it comes through as Facebook CPC. So we can see that here. Facebook referral is where Google Analytics is telling us, well, it wasn't tagged otherwise, but we know they came from Facebook. And so maybe that was somebody out there sharing it or just saying, hey, you should check out measurementmarketing.io stuff, because that happens, fortunately, quite a bit for us. It's again, another reason why we have such direct none traffic up here, because everyone's out there always recommending measurementmarketing.io. And then sometimes people will type it directly into the site. But sometimes on Facebook where somebody will actually say, hey, measurementmarketing.io, and then Facebook grabs it and hyperlinks it. Well, if they click on that, it'll show up as Facebook referral. So that's how we know that maybe people are out there sharing, coming through, and then obviously people are becoming leads there. So we know that Facebook is actually helping us with that. So there's lots of really cool things that you can do to help customize this. Now, something else, and let's see if in the past week, I'm always curious. I'm going to type in the word podcast here. And now typically you wouldn't be able to do something like this. I actually don't know if this will work or not since it's just the last week of traffic, but yes. So we've gotten some traffic from a digital marketer podcast that I've done, that I did with Digital Marketer. And I'll tell you, I think this was a really long time ago and we're still getting traffic from it, which which is kind of nice. So in this case, if I go to, I'm going to do a quick little thing here. We do secondary dimension. I'm going to type in the word content because I put little secret codes everywhere. We're going to do add content here. And this is a slightly more advanced thing, but what this is telling me now is it's the Digital Marketer podcast that I actually recorded August of 2018. So at this point, as of this recording, this is going back almost 2 years now, where we've gotten traffic since 2018 coming through. Still today, like in the past 7 days, this has worked really well. We're in 2020 right now. So you can see as of this recording, this is something I did years ago that's still generating traffic, and a very, very long tail. Obviously not a lot, but some. That's kind of nice. Now, if I filter this back and I do even a longer traffic source, let's do this. Let's see what other podcasts that we have coming on. And you can see here, there's Social Media Examiner podcast I did in January 2019 that was generating traffic. Again, it's a year ago. We did one with our Marketing for Creators podcast that we did that we recorded in January of 2020. There's Digital Marketers. We got another Social Media Examiner. This one was done in 2017. So that was even more a longer time ago. Now this is also, just so you know, this is how we use this. We go, hey, people are finding us through podcasts. Maybe we should do like 300 different podcasts. What if we had all that coming through? Because this is just the last 30 days or so of essentially free traffic coming from all of our different podcasts that are out there. And this is the long tail. These things we did over a year ago. So you can see how your podcast traffic working, how speaking traffic is working. You can see, I can very quickly see the type of traffic, which is podcast, and then which podcast it was. And I even coded when it was. Now, how am I doing this? I'm sure at this point you're probably asking like, okay, great, but how does this get in there? Because this is important. You have to do this. This is not an option. This is not something nice to do. You have to tag your traffic. So whenever somebody talks about tagging your traffic, this is where I had pulled this up initially. I know when we first started this whole workshop, we started here. But the reason that I had this up is to remind me to show you this. So in the Members Toolbox, now again, whether you're a free Toolbox membership or the Win Monthly Pass member or an Academy member, you have access to this Toolbox, this particular part of it at least. Everyone's got access to this. There's a traffic tracking toolkit UTM builders. We're going to click on that. And then when we come in here, we're going to go click in right where it says this little traffic tracker spreadsheet, click download now. So when we do that, I want you, now there's a few things on here. We're not going to get into the nitty gritty detail. I want you to know that there's more about this. So you can come in here and you can click into the What's Your Traffic Story to get the ebook. There's a video that you can access to that's right down here that goes into a deep dive of how to use this tool. But what you'll do is you'll make your own copy of this. And then when you make your own copy of this, you'll be able to come through and type in, okay, here are my different traffic sources that we use as a company. Now, these are examples. These are what we technically use here at measurementmarketing.io, but you would put in your own brands of traffic that you use from a traffic source perspective, your own types of traffic that you use to generate traffic coming through, your own campaigns. Now, what's a campaign? The campaign is the purpose of the traffic. Now, why is that important? Well, when you go back into analytics, I'm going to show you one other report that you can help to figure out kind of, okay, now where are our users coming from, right? So here we know source medium. That's kind of really the where are they coming from stuff is answered there. But if you come down to campaigns and we go into all campaigns, when you tag in the campaign, which is the purpose of the traffic, that's how you think about your campaign. What's the purpose of the traffic? Well, you see here it says win. So I can click on win, and this is all of my traffic that is coming through that is for the purposes of our Win Monthly Pass program, right? To generate traffic to create more Win Monthly Pass members for our training programs. So you can see if I clicked in there, this is the win traffic, right? All of our traffic that is dedicated to helping us to sell that particular program. And then we see here all the different sources and types of traffic from those sources that are working together to cause that to happen. And so you can see just in the last 30 days of the traffic that has come through, actually a little bit more than that, 60 days or so, of the traffic that's come through, partners are driving the most, so about half of it, a little less than half, about 40%. We've got our own emails that are driving traffic toward that program. We have Facebook ads. This is Facebook CPC. I know Social Media Examiner, where I was speaking on stage, is generating traffic. I know Social Media Examiner, where I was on the podcast, is generating traffic. I know Smart Marketer, where we did a program for them speaking, is still generating traffic. We've got YouTube shares that are generating traffic. My own personal emails. So this is an example of when somebody emails me personally and say, hey, yeah, you should go check out this program. I will tag it so that I can see if that's working or not. So I know they're coming from my own personal replies that are coming through. I know that these are resources that we generate, things like this. Like this is an example of a resource, this tool itself and our ebooks. So when somebody clicks on one of those, to come into the sales page or the offer page for Win Monthly Pass, I can see that all of these tools and resources are working. And then a Facebook share. Now, this is the reason we call it share is because this might be something that's not a paid program. So it's not a paid ad that we're putting out there, but maybe we just shared it organically. We didn't boost it or anything like that. We just put it out there organically. We call that share, because organic traffic is what I want to have for search engines, so I can measure that. Share traffic is whenever I'm doing something social and we're just sort of putting it out there, but we're not boosting it. So that's how we can tell the difference. So you can see all the different types of traffic, the sources of traffic, the brand names of traffic, and ultimately you can tie them to results that are coming through here, whether it's a lead. If I wanted to, I can come down and see, okay, well, how many people actually saw the Win Monthly Pass cart page, right? So this is important. This is how many people are actually considering a purchase. Where I can see my emails, my personal replies, a lot of them do, which makes sense because I'm, at this point, recommending somebody to go to that page. But I also see Infusionsoft email people coming in and seeing that page, which again makes sense, right? Partner traffic, not as much, but does it make it aware? Do people become aware of our page? So I can come in here and we'll go into the offer page for us. That's Win Monthly Pass offer page. And see here, Infusionsoft partner traffic, making a ton of people aware. My Infusionsoft email traffic, making a ton of people aware. The rest of them, not so much. So maybe there's other pages that they're focusing on in that customer journey to help a customer become a Win Monthly Pass member. So this is just an inkling. I wanted to give you just an idea of where to look and the questions that you can start asking when it comes to setting this stuff up. Now that you sort of see what's possible, let's talk about how to really customize it so you see something like this and not something that doesn't really tell a useful story. So we're going to go into the tool itself. You're going to set this up. So again, just go to File, make a copy of it, because everybody that's watching this video has the ability to do this. Go in and File, make a copy. Then you're going to go in, and then once you do that, you'll be able to come into the tabs, and these will turn into drop downs. So you'll have these as drop downs. In fact, I will very quickly show you so you can see exactly what it's like. So I'm just going to make a quick copy of it. We're going to close out the old one here. Once that pops up, there we go. So there's our old one gone away. This is my copy that I just made. So I could come in here and I could say, oh, well, I don't do podcast traffic and maybe I don't do webinar traffic. And I call my affiliates, maybe I call them partner because that's the type of traffic that I want. And then I don't use Infusionsoft, maybe I use MailChimp, right? So something like that. And then maybe if you use Twitter, maybe for a traffic source, you might have that as a main traffic source. And then your campaigns would be, let's just say, my product. That's in here. So we'll do something like that. And then I'll keep the other ones out for now. So now if I go into, let's say, email traffic, and I want to set this up, I say, okay, this is the page I'm going to send them to. So I'm going to change this to mysite.com. So mysite.com, whatever your site is what you put in, the page that you're actually sending the traffic to. So it's not the website itself, it's the exact page in that website. If it was your homepage, then you would just put in your homepage like it is set up here. Then we're going to say, okay, well, let's switch it to MailChimp because we use MailChimp. It is email traffic, so I'm going to keep that the same. The product was for my product. And then up here, you'll see a little directions as to what you can put in here. So for us, you might put in the subject line. If it's an email, I put in the subject line so I can see the different email subjects coming through. And then in content, you can put things like, oh, it's the PS link, or it was an image that they clicked on, or a text link, anything like that. Now, when you do that, I'm going to copy this. So it generates this link over here. I'm going to paste this in, and then we're going to highlight this, and we're going to go through this together up here. So we're going to change the focus up here. We're going to zoom in here. So what I want to do is we're going to start kind of highlighting this one piece at a time so you can see what's happening. So first, I come through here. This is just the page itself. So the mysite.com is just the page that you told it to point to. In this case, it's the homepage of a fake site. Then it automatically builds in what they call parameters. So this is a parameter, this is a parameter, this is a parameter. These are just things called parameters in the URLs, but they are very specific. So this parameter, this number one parameter here is called UTM source. So going forward from here on out, when you hear somebody talk about, oh, look for the UTMs, or are you using UTMs with your traffic, or are you tagging with UTMs? Whenever you hear UTMs in the measurement marketing world, that's what these are. It's UTM source. So guess what? UTM source is equals, in this case, see that whole UTM underscore source equals, has to be exactly like that. And then you typed in MailChimp. Now you didn't type it in, the system did it, but you could just type it in. You could also just, if again, if I used Infusionsoft, I could just type it in if I want. Sometimes I'll do that. But UTM source in this case would be Infusionsoft. If you were using, let's say Entreport to do your stuff, you could say Entreport, right? And type that in. I'll actually spell that correctly. So now the UTM source Entreport, and then the source of traffic. So that is the thing that shows up as the brand name source, in this case Infusionsoft. That's how we got Infusionsoft to show up in Google Analytics, because when we came through here, it said, okay, UTM underscore source Entreport, or in our case, Infusionsoft, right? In your case, it might be something else. So that's how that works. Then I'm going to say, let's see. So I'm going to change this to Infusionsoft since that's actually what we use. Then UTM medium, email. So here, the UTM medium is email. So what type of traffic is coming from the source, from the brand name, in this case, Infusionsoft? It's email traffic that I might be doing. Now, if it was paid CPC traffic, I would call it CPC. I suggest you do too, because if you do Google ads at all, Google will automatically tag that as Google for the brand name and CPC for the fact that it's paid ads. So if you do Facebook CPC, Google CPC, LinkedIn CPC, that way you can run reports and say, well, how is all my CPC traffic doing? And it'll break it down by those different traffic sources. Hopefully that makes sense. But the idea is you type it same, don't call it paid for one traffic source and then, boosted for another traffic source and then CPC for another traffic source. If you really just pick your one type, which is why we've created this tag settings down here. So you have the type of traffic coming through, right? So all the types of traffic, and you stick to that. You keep it consistent. All right. So I'm going to copy this back here so we can continue to play along. Okay. So now so that's UTM medium email. Then we had UTM term. Now again, for us, for emails, we put in the subject of the email. So I can see the subject lines that we were using at the time. If it was a paid ad, I would put in the headline of the ad itself. UTM contents, we put in some differentiators. In this case, it's like, it's an image of a survey. This might be location information in the system. So in our case, we use Infusionsoft. Those of you who use Infusionsoft will know what I'm talking about here. But we actually put in the campaign ID, the sequence in that campaign, and the email in that sequence so we can locate them later. So if we need to change something, we can. That's kind of why we do that. But then we'll also put in additional details. And then the purpose. What is the point of this traffic? Why are you sending traffic to this page in the first place, right? To this page in the first place. What's the point of it? And that's the UTM campaign _campaign there. So that defines the product, and that's what shows up in your campaigns reports. And again, if you're structuring this properly, now structure is important, and we won't unfortunately have time to go into that today. But when you click on the What's Your Story traffic, you click into here, it'll bring up this ebook. This talks about how to structure, and I'm going to quickly show you the highlights. I'll give you a chance to go through here on your own, because again, everybody watching this has the ability to do that. But structure is important. So this is the structure. So you have your campaign. That's the point of your traffic. You've got your source. That's the brand name of the traffic. You've got your type of traffic. In this case, again, the email was the example here. Then the term, which is the subject line, the content, which is some identifiers as far as how this stuff works. But when you combine traffic sources, they both would use the same. In this case, the Academy, it's one of our other programs, Measurement Marketing Academy. These two different traffic sources, Infusionsoft and Facebook, are both combined for Academy, right? They're both used for Academy to promote the Academy workshop. So they both use UTM _campaign Academy. And then they work together. And I can see my Infusionsoft email working toward Academy. I can see Facebook shared working toward Academy. I can see in the Facebook shared that it was sign up today was the headline, or that was an image of a laptop that we used in that post. Whereas in the email, I can see details like the subject line or the fact that it was the PS link, right? So all of these different things work together. And then you can add more traffic sources into it. So it's like, okay, well, here's paid Facebook traffic working toward the purpose of the Academy, shared Facebook traffic working toward the purpose of the Academy, emails, my emails that are coming through working toward the purpose of helping somebody become an Academy member in that customer journey. And that is how you get these reports to show up like this in the campaigns, all about structure. So in this case, there's win, but I have one for Academy. So if we go into my Academy page, my Academy campaign, I'm going to say, okay, Google Analytics, please tell me where are my users coming from? How are they finding me for the purposes of joining the Academy, right? Because any traffic source is doing that. And I can see there's my Infusionsoft partner traffic that's generating some, in this case, I'm going to say, switch this to the goal of Academy sales page is what this is. So I can come through and I can see, okay, well, how many people are seeing the Academy sales page? Infusionsoft partner traffic driving some conversions there. I've got YouTube that's driving conversions to the Academy sales page. I've got Infusionsoft email that's doing it. I've got a digital marketer guest blog post that I did years ago that was generating some traffic. My own personal emails, of course, Digital Marketer Podcast, Digital Marketer Webinar that we had done for Digital Marketer, Google CPC, some paid traffic we did from Google back in the day, Measurement Marketing.io PDF. This is a different type of resource that we generated here, internal resource. And there's some paid Facebook traffic that we had sent to this, right? And along with a few other traffic sources. You can see that there's a few down here as well. But I can get a better understanding of how these traffic sources are coming together to promote the Academy. And specifically, if I break it down by the results here, all in Google Analytics. And the reason that I can do that, the only reason I can do that is because I'm using UTMs, right? So we go through here and we set this stuff up ourselves. There's some examples I put in here for you. You can take these out and obviously change it with your own companies and your own sources of traffic types and campaigns. The trick is keep settings here, because that way it'll help you keep it consistent. Because one day you don't want to call it partner one day and then affiliate the next, because that'll confuse things for analytics, make it harder to read. So just choose whatever it is, put it in here, and then it'll show in your drop downs across all of the tabs. You will only see what you actually put in there. So in this case, the different types of traffic you can see right in here. So if I add a new traffic type, so again, maybe I say, oh, now I do webinars, and we're going to do a webinar or a masterclass, whatever you call it. When you come through here, you'll see it all of a sudden shows up. So you can put in your drop down, and that helps you keep things consistent. It'll help you to structure. And with the other tools that are available in this, like in this case, the ebook, it'll help you go through and really understand this. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, but I do want to bring your attention to that one thing concept. So if you didn't know about UTMs, get into the Toolbox membership, go into the traffic toolkit, into the Toolbox in the members area, go into this tool, right? This particular tool, and then you'll see the book. So go into the book and go through it, because it'll help you give it another idea of how things get together and help you think through it. There's some worksheets and things in here to help you think through things and structure things and get started with it. Now, if you are already using UTMs, that is awesome. That is incredible. And that is, of course, a huge, huge first step. But most people, the way that I have found that it's worked over the years when we teach this to so many people at this point is, number one, is just first they're aware of UTMs, which is great, because now they know that they're a thing, and then they start using them, but they use them and they structure them incorrectly. They don't coordinate the UTMs. So sometimes on Facebook traffic, we see Facebook paid, then we see Google CPC, then we see LinkedIn promoted, right? Well, they're all paid traffic, but they're being fractured, right? We would call fractured traffic. So you want to, if you are already using UTMs, I would still encourage you to go through the tools that we talked about today in this workshop that you and I just went through, and think about your structure of your UTMs, and are they being coordinated so that, and here's how you can tell, you can go into your campaigns report, you go to all campaigns, and then you can come in here and you can say, okay, what's the point of the traffic that I sent to my certification, for example, as a product for the certifications that we offer? And I can say, okay, these are the two different emails that we did, two different types of traffic. We did Infusionsoft email came through, and we did Facebook CPC. Now remember, I can click here because we're using UTMs and structuring. This is the next level stuff. I can click into this. I can do secondary dimension, and I can say, I want to see the keyword. So the keyword in this case is how you're going to find the subject lines that pop up, right? Things that are in that UTM term that came through here. See there, we're going to hide our email subject lines. Not really hide, it's the wrong word, but this is where we store them. Right? So we have source medium, and I can see, okay, of those 54 emails, 49 of them are certification update. Are you a freelancer or run an agency? That was the headline. Then there was the headline that we had people take me off your list, where we pulled them off of the certification wait list if they didn't want to be on there anymore. And then some that were about your certification, right? That came through there. So we can see the different subject lines that we were using to get people to move through this certification funnel that we did for the purposes of that program. And that was just one of the traffic sources. I could do the same thing with Facebook traffic as well, and come through and see just what my Facebook was and what the ads were on Facebook, and how they saw that. So lots of incredible things that you can do. The trick is using UTMs. Number one, knowing the source medium report. First things first, get into the source medium report and understand that it is the traffic source, the brand name of the traffic source. It is the type of traffic coming from that source. So you can kind of see, okay, here's my different traffic sources. Here's what's coming across. I can see the results. I can see, how many users are coming through. I can see some engagement metrics, right? And we can kind of get an idea of where our users are coming from. So that's the first thing. Second thing, start using UTMs to make this more useful. Because if you don't do that, you see things like this where it's a little bit harder to figure out kind of what's going on, and you got some weirdness in there, and the story's harder to read. There's a story here, it's just harder to read. But with UTMs, because you can customize them for your unique business and how you build traffic for your site, like in my case, I use podcast traffic, so I do podcasts. You might not do guest podcasts, and so you don't need to worry about that. But you might have other traffic sources that you could do, and then they all come through here. So that is how this whole thing works out. And then, of course, using UTMs and structuring those UTMs properly, which these tools in the traffic tracking toolkit, again, just go into the toolbox in the members area, go to member dashboard. When you first come in, you will see the toolbox section, click into the toolbox, and then the position may change. So currently it's in the lower right-hand corner as we're doing this recording, but it'll change, but it'll be in the members area for you. Traffic tracking toolkit, click on there. It'll take you to the different resources that will help you to level this stuff up no matter where you are when it comes to your own UTM so that you can finally really answer where are my users coming from and get some usefulness out of it. Really, really, truly understand not that they came from Facebook, but they came from Facebook paid ads with the images of laptops where you were saying 20% offer. Like, you can get really specific with this because of the power of UTMs. All right. So what was your one thing? Was it the idea that UTMs even exist? If so, practice them a little bit. Maybe it was, okay, I didn't know about UTMs. I didn't even know about source medium report because we're just new to analytics. Maybe you're just really new to this. In which case, go into your source medium and get familiar with it. But your next steps should be practicing using UTMs. And if you are using UTMs already, if you've been using UTMs already, double check. Question yourself. It's what we call trust but verify here. So TBV, we call it TBV, trust but verify. But go through TBV, the structure that you're using. And again, those tools will help you to do that. That book, the Traffic Story book, will help you to do that. And it'll help you level up your thinking about how to coordinate your UTMs. Because the number one mistake I see is that people create their traffic tags, their UTMs, for specific traffic sources, and they should not do that. They should do it for campaigns. You should do it for your company. You got to make sure everything's coordinated together, and that tool that you saw in this workshop will actually help you to do that. All right. So speaking of, now, if you want to level up, if you're not yet a Win Monthly Pass member, or if you are interested in improving your skills with analytics or Tag Manager or anything else that we talk about here at measurementmarketing.io, then please consider measure.tip/courses. It will take you to the different courses that we have available to you. Lots of different WIN courses. WIN stands for what I need. They are very focused. They are 4 to 7 lessons. They get you in and get you out, because let's face it, you and I do not want to be spending 1 million hours in analytics. Like, come on, we don't have to do that. We're marketers. We need to be out there changing our messaging and working with our users and being in front of them. And that's what measurement marketing is all about. So we've created very focused courses to get you in and get you out of these particular things. So please check that out. If you are a company and you would like to really switch your company to measurement marketing culture, I say eventually you will have to do that anyway, because it's just going to be necessary in today's day and age. But if you're at that point where you're like, yeah, like we're getting bigger, or we have a team and I really want that to happen, then use the Measurement Marketing Academy. It is the next level up in our programs. Measure.tip/start will teach you more about that. But essentially, it's very similar to the screen that you saw, where you have access to everything. You've got all the WIN courses. You have 4 logins, which is why it's important for teams, because every team member has their own login. In that case, 4 different logins. And they each have access to instructors. So you can go to an instructor and you can have your technical person asking technical questions while your strategy person is asking strategy questions, and keeping those channels separate, so that you can really improve overall that measurement marketing culture in your own company. Measure.tip/start. It is application based, because we want to make sure we don't just accept everybody in that program. We make sure it's a really good fit for both you and for our instructors. But please take a look at that and then put in an application if you are interested in joining that particular program, because it is amazing. And it also comes with group coaching. Speaking of, every Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, Academy members, just want to remind you, we have office hours member Q&A. So again, every Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Look forward to seeing you there. Typically, it's less than 10 people that show up for these, so it's a nice, small, intimate group. People show up sometimes just to kind of see what other people are talking about. Most of the time, they are showing up with problems and issues they are trying to solve. And let's face it, you and I both know this. It is very often easier to talk it through with somebody than going back and forth a lot. So just jump on a call. The instructors are there hosting those, and you can actually share your screens and walk them through the exact issue and really get the help you need, customized support. Again, that is office hours member Q&A for our Measurement Marketing Academy members. For those of you who are already members, welcome and thank you, and look forward to seeing you on the next office hours. With that, we'll start to wrap this one up. Now, next week's topic is Beyond Basics. Every week we switch the categories here at Workshop Wednesday. So we're going to level up a little bit and talk about some more technical issues that you might run into with Google Analytics, something called a virtual page view. So we're going to talk about how and why to use virtual page views. So this will include some Tag Manager stuff on how to actually set these up. And we'll talk about some use cases as to why you might want to set these up and start firing virtual page views into Google Analytics. If you have a what they call an SPA, a single page application, you should definitely make sure you are in the next workshop, because this is exactly custom built for virtual page views. Speaking of, if you are not yet a Toolbox member, the Measure Marketing Toolbox is free to join. Went the wrong way. Sorry about that. Free to join. So you get Workshop Wednesday. That's these workshop trainings. They rotate each week. So you have the entire week to watch the workshop. Then the next week it'll get replaced out with a new one. You've got the traffic tracking toolkit, which you actually saw in action today. There's Google Analytics report card, market behavior toolkit. There's ACE goals. There's Regex heroes for those wanting to learn regular expressions. There's the GTM cookbook if you're using Google Tag Manager. Lots of stuff. This is not everything. This is just some of the stuff that is back there that is free for you. As a Toolbox member. If you are interested in not yet, haven't created your Toolbox membership, just go to measure.tips/WW to create your free Toolbox membership. And we look forward to seeing you in the members area. Again, measure.tips/WW will get you to the right spot. With that, we officially bring this one to a close. You just watched Getting Started, how to answer where are my users coming from. Thanks again for watching this workshop, and we will see you on the next one. Take care.